Radio Arcane.
Dark, eclectic music.
Welcome to Radio Arcane, the podcast number 20 with La Procesión de lo Infinito. I'm Brian Drabant.
I'm Motuvius Rex.
I'm Edwin AndrOspore.
I am Ariosto from La Procesión de lo Infinito.
I am Eliana from La Procesión de lo Infinito.
Excellent.
All right.
So, how's things going in Colombia?
Things here are a crazy thing in this actual moment. Is very strange. We think maybe it's the corruption thing that always have been in our country, because the vaccination even doesn't have started yet, and here are no any vaccines. So here are crazy things, and no one want to receive. Well, like half of the people don't want a vaccine, but the other one yes. But here are even no vaccines and no contracts for that thing. But well, we are fine. We have been having a lot of things to do, and that is good for us. That is okay.
Sure. So, and I'm sure COVID plays into that a bit as well. I mean, I'm imagining you probably aren't, touring right now, but gives you more time to focus on music.
A little bit, because when this pandemic started here, I got a lot of work and things to do. Wait a minute, please.
Se va a descargar.
No problem.
No lo habíamos cargado.
No, está bien.
Ya. Ahora sí.
So I had a lot of work during this pandemic with my jewelry, hand-carved jewelry that is my work. So,
which is amazing, by the way. I've seen it. It's amazing.
I actually purposefully wore some of that because.
Show us.
yes,
Yeah, it's incredible.
Shang have
Wow.
I'm a big
springs.
I'm a big fan of his jewelry. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Qué bonito.
The hand carved detail on it is just
Wow.
he even custom designed me a Motuvius Rex ring for my own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How do you make those? Do you sort of cast them in a way? I mean,
Yes, I hand carve it in wax, and then I do a casting for silver or sometimes gold, but commonly I work in silver, and I try to give a lot of details in my work. So my work is
incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
I must have a lot of patience doing this work. So there is a short time for music, sadly.
Well,
I think maybe in 1 year I can be more. I can develop better my skills and have more time for composing music, because I always I am working and I am thinking in music, in new music to do, but I have not time for now.
So, do you do this full time? ¿Haces esto tu trabajo?
Yes, this is my work. I do hand carved wax models for jewelry here, and I do my own original designs too. So I am almost all day in working in these things.
Okay. Wow.
I
Yeah,
love
they're
the new
gorgeous.
skull.
They're gorgeous.
The new skull ring, the detail is just so gorgeous. I don't know. All of his stuff's great. I've been talking with him for quite a long time. We trade music to listen to and stuff. And I traded a couple of wands with them too. And
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
How did you all meet?
Kentucky Vampires, probably Zach probably.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
yes, we meet because of Kentucky Vampires.
Yeah.
I
And
meet Zach first, and then I meet Sean.
yeah, we just started talking. I think mostly because I wanted his jewelry. That's what it was.
Yes,
I mean, on his jewelry.
and then I wanted to want an scepter from him because we really like the Sean's work in those art craftsmanship. That is great. The wands and the scepter, we are going to use it in the cover of our second album.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
wow.
honored.
Shit.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, Sean's work is beautiful.
It is. It is. So you both are based in Medellín. What's the scene like down there? Is there a scene for the the goth community?
Like 15 years ago or more, here were a lot of people that went to some parties that was done every month, and that was called Gothic parties. But when I went to those parties, maybe at the beginning of the party when no one was there, only like 4 people, at 10 p.m. Started to play some very known songs from Siouxsie, from Bauhaus, from Joy Division,
The Cure.
The Cure, all these very well-known songs. But like at 11 p.m. when people start to arrive, they started to play all night long, only EVM, Agrotech, and Dark Electro. Yes, and that was all. When there were like 300 people and or more, and they were all dancing just to Dark Electro. But
¿Te gusta el Dark Electro?
I respect the Dark Electro, but I don't listen to it. But she likes Dark Electro. Yes, but I think is that here have not been a Gothic scene or spaces for this kind of music, because people in those times only was thinking in go to the party, dance, and have your visual thing. But now all those people, because there was a lot of people here, they now even doesn't like a lot or listen to that music. Now it's more focused to techno.
Okay.
All these parties and now are not Gothic parties. It's just electro party. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that down there. I'm actually sort of traverse both scenes myself a bit, and do follow actually. It seems to be a burgeoning techno and electro scene in Colombia as well. But and I know you said maybe it's not as big. The goth rock scene isn't as big as it probably should be down there. Have you played in other cities in Cali or Bogota? And is the scene there bigger? And have you played outside of Colombia in general?
For example, our first concert was in Bogota, not in our city. Was with Antiflux, a band from Bogota. They are friend of us, and in those times they have a collective called Bat Beat, and they try to keep spreading the news about all kind of music related to the dark, to the Gothic and electro too. So they organized this first event that was August 2017, and they were like 40 people or more, like 40 or 50 people that we don't know. And that was great because in those times we only have 2 songs released in the internet, so that was very good for us. We enjoyed it a lot that night, listening to Antiflux and playing our few songs that we have in that time rehearsed. So when we played here in our city was because Libido, a bar from here, that they now have a club Libido that is a different place, but because it's bigger. So we played there, and they were like 100 people, 100 personas is 100.
Progresamos, estoy segura de un triste final. Naturaleza muerta, en tus ojos llenos de inconsciencia y despojos. Naturaleza muerta, en tus ojos
there were like 100 people, 100 people, and there was a very good sound. We played with another band from here, like Synthetic Division, that is like a new wave thing, a retro sound. I don't know how to define them, but they play it. Tumbas, a known band from Bogota. There were a Cure tribute too,
Nice.
and another band that was like punk, La Sinfónica Fónica, something like that. Where that was a good concert, but when we played it again in our city, there were like 50 people too. But in the last concert from 2009, there were very few people. But well, that day, the one organizer did the same date of us, electro party, and people like here more to go to dance electronic because here I think people here do not enjoy a lot the guitars and bass beats. Is more well, I think
They're
here,
missing out. They're missing out. It's a shame.
yeah, it's-
La escena en Colombia es nula, totalmente. Solo es llevado como a estos eventos solo de electrónica y de algunos beats que son como más conocidos, como decía Arios, todo de Cure, Bauhaus, solamente, o sea, Gothic rock gótico no. Y si ponen algo de esa música, se van, se aburren,
yes,
se
here
dispersan.
when here have the organizers have done events, they sometimes put unknown music from known bands, and the people gets like, what's that? And they want is to hear a tum 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 all the
Right.
time. They don't enjoy a rhythmic bass or a rhythmic tribal percussion. Here is the taste is lost in that way.
I don't think that that's that much different here. I mean,
Yes.
Yes, we always have thinking that it's almost the same in everywhere, but we have not traveled. We have only went to play in Peru, but we know that this kind of songs like with guitars and bass are not very appreciated by a lot of people. There are very few people. We think the Gothic rock and maybe death rock, yes, and the Gothic post-punk are very underrated. The real underground, I think.
No
that.
doubt. Yeah,
Because
for sure.
here are a big scene of metal, of black metal, and a lot of metalheads. And they say they are the real underground, but there are many people here.
Sure.
It's the same here.
concerts,
definitely
they-
the same here.
here in our city play bands from Finland, bands from Norway.
Sure. Black metal, a lot of
Yes.
a lot of Scandinavian bands, I imagine.
But he, for example, in Peru, always have been a scene of that really like more the guitars and bass and those kind of sounds, and they always, for example, the Mission played there like in 2002.
No shit.
And
He lives in Brazil. Wayne does.
and Lima 13 bassist Osvaldo Rocha from Lima 13, an old post-punk, new wave, dark band from Peru, played the bass with Wayne Hussey in that mission visit there. And that there are videos in internet and looks amazing. A lot of people crazy watching the mission.
And when you played in Peru, you played in Lima?
Yes, we played in Lima in a huge building that was a big building and very beautiful place. And we played with Diablo Strain from Chile, and another bands from Peru, like Something Obscura, and the other one is Último Destino, Último Refugio. No.
No me acuerdo.
La nueva era se ilumina con su maquillaje. Lleva antorchas y exhiben sus más profundos calabozos de mentiras. Nueva era grita y danza en la oscuridad, turbando los silencios y su secretar. La nueva era grita y danza en la oscuridad, turbando los silencios y su secretar. La nueva era se ilumina con su maquillaje. Lleva antorchas y exhibe sus más profundos calabozos de mentiras. La nueva era grita y danza en la oscuridad, turbando los silencios y su secretar. La nueva era grita y danza en la oscuridad, turbando los silencios y su secretar.
Ahora la sombra ha perdido sus matices, por cuanto ingenuo le ha creído dominar. Odios al día vienen tus directrices, pues en tu negro siempre quiero descansar. Ja, ja. Ja, ja.
La nueva era grita y danza en la oscuridad, turbando los silencios y su secretar. La nueva era grita y danza en la oscuridad, turbando los silencios y su secretar.
This brings me to the fact that your last album was released out of Finland. with Post Gothic and Oscar, which
Yes, that was the last release from Gothic Music Records, the first label that Oscar did. But he finished it with us, the releases under Gothic Music Records name. But then he started Post Gothic because it's more. He now is paying a lot of taxes because he's more established. It's established label now. Yes.
right. So your next release though, you're working, is it with In Club, or do you know, or is it just going to be independent, or do you even want to say?
The vinyl version of our first album is going to be released by In Club Records from Peru.
Mhm.
And then they want to release us to the second album, but we recently received an offer from a label from USA, a known label, but we don't want to accept that agreement. Was a good agreement, but they was asking to us to change our name to be more easy to
say,
to say
shorter.
for North American.
Fuck that.
¿A cuál nombre ¿a
Uh,
cuál nombre es?
Eternal Procession. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Can't compromise. Can't
No,
compromise.
your name is cool as fuck.
Yeah, completely.
Because I know it's difficult. But if you as bands from another countries like Europe, there are bands that have a good sound, and if you like that band, you search how to, you try to write in the web to search it, even if you don't know how to pronounce it. I think.
I love that you guys sing your music in Spanish. I think that's beautiful. Like, like I know a lot of bands outside of the United States, not only in South America, but in Europe or wherever, always at least not always, but often cater to English, and they will try to tap into the American market. But I think it's awesome that you guys sing in your own language. I love that. I love to hear it.
And we like our name too because it's long, like the Sisters of Mercy, Siouxsie and the Banshees, Beyond the Wall of Sleep. That is a band that I like a lot. Yes, a lot of bands that we like have long names, and we think that if you like the music, if you can't pronounce it, you try to learn how to type it, to don't forget that sound that you like it. If you don't like, you will forget it, and that's okay for us.
I've typed it so many times that all I have to do is type la in Google and it comes up. So I never have to type it out.
So
Procesión del Infinito.
Let me ask you a question. So what was the start of your, how did you guys get together? I mean, yeah, where was the creation, of the band, and when?
¿Cómo deciden juntarse como una banda?
That was we met in 2009, and we was talking a lot because we were happy that we meet because we have MySpace, and then we started to chat by Messenger in those times, and I saw that he liked it a lot, and many bands that I even didn't know, but there were a lot of bands that we knew each, and the way of communication between us that bring to us the opportunity to talk about doing music, but the idea of Neftis, Eliana, the idea of her was to never to release music, but never upload photos of us, and maybe only put the names, but nicknames, just that. Because
Sort of incognito, I guess, right?
yes, incognito. She wanted
Anonymous. Sí.
yes, she wanted this project to be anonymous, and we started doing music, but that was because she have a participation in 2004 in a in a folk metal pagan folk metal band. She were invited to sing, and that band never released their names in those times, and she did choruses. She did the lyrics vocals, and she liked that way because she always have been very underground. She is not shy. She is just I don't know how to say.
Lo puedes decir en español si quieres.
Sí, ella es más oculta. Siempre le ha
Okay,
gustado ser más oculta y no exponerse tanto.
Más introspectiva o más tímida, digámoslo así.
More-
Callada, sí.
Just a little more timid and a little bit more cold than anybody can take her as.
Okay, yeah.
So, ya in 2017, we decided to play for the first time in Live, and that she made it better than me and the bass player that we invited in that time. She did an amazing performance, but we was more lost even when we rehearsed a lot, but was problems of between the bass player and me, and she always was doing a perfect performance with her vocals and her dancing, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
How was your first live performance? I mean, how did that go?
We meet a bass player that he wanted to be in the band, and he was very enthusiastic, but at the end I don't know what happened with him in the real performance, that he forgot almost all the songs and started to dance and put his hand so I was very confused because the bass lines are
Straight through.
the bass lines are the harmonic for me. That is my guide, and the vocal.
Es la vida de la canción.
Yes, and my guitar is just like attention, but if I lost that harmonic line, I was very confused, and then I feel insecure. But Neftis were very good, and the people were screaming and like very excited. That was very good because yes, the people was like hypnotized with Neftis vocals and dancing.
I wish I could see you guys live.
Damn.
And it's both. I don't know. I know that I've seen some brief little clips on YouTube, but that's not enough. I want to see you guys someday.
We want to play there someday too. And that art sanctuary space looks amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll give you a free
Yeah.
place to stay if you come up here too.
Hope to be there someday.
Our sanctuary is amazing.
Sean, nos encantó los cetros.
Once and set.
She loves the wands and scepters.
Oh, thank you.
Pensamos usarlos en algunas fotografías de nuevo material o en algún video.
In a video.
Por
too.
eso no los he publicado todavía, es una sorpresa.
We want to use the wand and scepter in a video too, but we want that it be a surprise because we have not uploaded photos of it, so we want to have it there waiting
awesome.
for the real art.
I love it.
Yes.
What's your process in making music? I mean, where do you derive your inspiration from, and sort of how do you lay out tracks? I mean, what's the whole process involved with that?
Sometimes the lyrics came first, and then I try to do a melody or something with that lyrics, and because the lyrics are always there floating. Neftis, Eliana, and I talk a lot, and we get a lot of ideas, and we say that it sounds amazing for a lyric. And then I start to imagine a rhythmic or a percussion or a guitar or a bass line, and I take my phone and start to do that noises there. And there I when I have time I took my bass or my guitar and start to do that noise I made in the phone real. I try to search how to do it in the instrument, and then I start with the percussion in the software.
So you actually some of your melodies basically you sort of come up with like just in your head, and then sort of just record by humming into your phone to get the sort of bass melody and whatnot, and then go from there in order to sort of move into creating those melodies in guitar and into the track itself.
Yes, I that is what I do always. And the lyrics always born of our conversations, and well, sometimes we hear something that we like tribal sounds, and we say, oh, we must do something that evocates that type of energy, of tribal energy, and the second album it will have more tribal sounds, like rhythmic percussions and I don't know how to say vocals games. I don't know.
Lo puedes decir en español, está bien.
Juegos, sí, como juegos de vocales, sí.
Okay.
Como juegos así, sí, tribales. Y lo más complicado es grabar las voces. That is the most complicated thing, to record vocals, because the first ones were recorded in a friend studio, but now we cannot afford to pay for that recordings of vocals, so we must record it in home. I don't know, Sean have the same microphone of me?
Is it a Rode
NT1.
Yep, it's the same. Yep. I mean, that's a good easy one for me. I like it.
Silencio infernal. Paredes de carne, barrotes de hueso, es la celda donde yo me encuentro. Hoy quiero vivir, hoy quiero morir. Siento el poder del astro venir. Quisiera ser libre, salir de este cuerpo, salir de este cuerpo en el que estoy preso. Saturno ha venido a embullirme por completo. Será mi llave o el estar muerto. Paredes de carne, barrotes de hueso.
Yes, we are expecting to record in this week the vocals of the 2 bonus tracks that will appear in the last version of La Era Oscura album. And we are going to record it with this microphone here. But we are waiting for a peaceful time here to do a good recording. Yes.
I find vocals the most difficult to make sound
Yes, and to
authentic. I don't know, like I'm not a great singer though. Elanya Neft is a beautiful singer, very powerful voice.
Thank you.
And I don't know. I get by. I have to stay in a small range, but
you do great vocals. We like a lot how you sing. We like
Oh, yes.
a lot your voice.
Sean, a
Thank
beautiful voice.
I think I have an ugly voice.
And
But-
music, melody.
Yes, or your melodies and music. We love what you do. Really,
Thank you.
we are in love.
Different.
It's the thing that I always want to. I always expect to hear something like that. Well done, because it sounds with a good production.
Toma la esencia.
You take the essence of the kind of music that we are talking with those bass lines and those guitars, and your voice is so powerful too. We really like that.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Porque nunca habíamos escuchado una voz así.
Nefty said that we have never listened a voice like you. She really likes it, and me too, a lot.
Thank you.
¿Cómo sería?
It's very unique.
Yes.
I wanted to always say, alguien con dolor, alguien que escucha, sufre, inocencia, inocencia, ruego inocente. Algo así. Something
See-
like that will be your song.
I definitely want to do that. I would love to hear that song in Spanish, and I also think that you guys will sing it better than I did. And that for me, like that was the weakest. That was the title track, which I thought was probably the best, most attractive song, but I couldn't sing it. Like I had a hard time doing vocals on it. So I would love I would love for you to do it. For you.
Thank you.
Yes, I can't wait. That'll be wonderful.
Yes, we want to do it soon too. And yes, we have a lot of ideas to develop, but hopefully soon we will have time to work on new music, because we have a lot of ideas.
So you sent me two demo tracks,
Yes.
and you are good with me playing them on here. I can play them on the podcast.
Yes.
I love it. Can't wait. That's great.
But the demos have no vocals, so it's only.
It's okay. It's just music. Okay. We
It's
did that with Scary Black. I mean, Albie did a couple with no vocals, and it's cool. I think people that are interested in your music like to hear that and hear the process. journey getting a song finished. You know,
Yes.
I'm doing a collaboration with Shadow Assembly, Michael Lewis right now, and I've been wrestling with that song for weeks. I don't know. Sometimes a song comes out in 15 minutes, and you're just like, "How did that happen?" And then other times, I will wrestle with them for years.
Yes. That happened to me in this first album. Now I feel more like I can do a new idea as I want faster, because I am happy with the quality of sound production that I am doing. I know it's not a professional quality, but it's a decent sound quality, and that was sometimes I was fighting with that, and I decided to record again some guitars, because that was the production that was stopping me of advance in the composition. But now I feel more happy with my production.
Working with friends has helped me. Working with you, I mean, just talking about stuff helps me. Zach has helped me a lot since I joined the Kentucky Vampires with learning. Brian has just doing this podcast has helped me with production. You know, that's the hardest part of music making. It's like, it's just, even if you have a song that you feel like sounds fine in your own space, when you start recording it, it can be a struggle, a real fight.
Yes, and for example, Neftis, a lot of times he watch me in the computer listening and listening again and again a song, and she says that I am going to
Crazy.
to be crazy.
My wife does the same. Lisa, like, sometimes I will just play a thing over and over and over. Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's hard when you're recording too, and you've made a track and you're fiddling with it constantly to sort of, you know, get some distance from it. I think when you're so close to a track like that, and from my experience, you know, making music, you get so sort of focused on it, and you sort of can't see the forest for the trees, in the sense that, you know, I think it's good, at least for me, when I'm making something, maybe I make something and I fiddle with it for a bit, and then I leave it be for a little while and come back to it, because sometimes it's sort of, when you do, it's sort of more refreshing. You can sort of see,
absolutely,
you know, where you're at, I guess, where maybe
to try to like step away and almost try to forget about it, so that you can come back and hear it with fresh ears again. And
a veces escribo algo y tengo que ir a manejar o lavar la ropa o los trastes, you know, whatever. You know, something happens in that process.
Yes, uno cae en cuenta de, debo de mirar esto, a ver que si mejora el sonido o no, cosas así. Cuando uno está haciendo otra cosa, pues, ¿qué tuvo que hacer diferente a eso? Sí.
Yeah. I was saying, sometimes I will write something and then I have to do something really mundane, like do some laundry or wash the dishes or go on a drive, and while I'm listening to it, if I'm preoccupied with something else, you know, I'm not so focused on what is happening with the music. I'm just able to take it in, and I can add something else to it, and you know, it's that we all have our own processes, and it just is how it is.
Sure. I also think it's sometimes it's at least for me, you know, I'll record something and I listen to it in my studio, but then I think I also try to take that same track and, you know, listen to it in my car and listen to it on my main speakers, in order to sort of get sort of a different perspective, I guess, you know.
You can get frequency fatigue You know, like
yeah,
you're,
no question.
like you're almost deaf. You're almost deaf to a certain thing because you've heard it so many times. And if you
I think.
if you let it lay for a bit and come back, you hear it with fresh ears. Definitely.
I think I get the opposite sometimes, though. I think sometimes I listen to things that I wrote and maybe hear things that I want to hear in it that other folks can't, and it's very frustrating.
Times that happen. But and so you say, I'm less deaf than them. Thanks.
Let me ask you about your process for making your videos. Which are gorgeous, by the way, of the videos I've seen. How do you go about doing that? Is that something that you've filmed yourselves, or do you have somebody else kind of helping you make those videos?
No, for example, the idea of that day when we recorded La Tumba de los Dioses, the idea was to record Naturaleza Muerta. That was our idea. We wanted to go to an abandoned factory out of the city, but the people that will take us there couldn't that day, so we decided to take to try ¿cómo se dice? Suerte. Probar suerte. No sé.
With luck.
Yes, and we decided to go to El Palacio Egipcio, the Egyptian palace here in our city, and we talked with the man who administrate this building, and we said him that if we can record a video there in that moment, so he said that we have to pay for recording there, but we told him that we have no money in that moment, and maybe if he wanted, we can I can do a ring for him. That is when this ring came to life. I made this ring for the one who administrate El Palacio Egipcio.
Okay.
In exchange of using the space for our video. So was Neftis, Eliana, and I. Yes, Sean have the same ring.
Yes, I have the same.
I know.
I love it.
It almost looks like Egyptian, maybe not hieroglyphics, but at least Egyptian art. Is that right?
Yes. It's an Anubis and the Ra and Horus eye in each side.
Nice.
Yes. So we have a tripod camera and camera from 2011 that I used it when I was studying plastic arts in the university, and we recorded the video. Sometimes Neftis have the tripod with the camera and do the focus, the manual focus, and she did the most quiet shots from me, and I was the one who was floating with the camera very fast, and that was an exercise between her and I edited it. But this computer that we have couldn't how to say, render all the quality that we could have obtained from that shoots, because the shooting was in a good quality, very good. And in the process of doing the color processing, there were a lot of difficulties trying to get the best quality of the video, but we did all the video by ourselves. We bought, yes, and we want to do more videos this year. We hope we have time in the next month, and we like to do it all by ourselves.
Mm.
Mhm.
Pues si vienen aquí a Kentucky, hay muchas. I mean, it just there's so many places for you all to do videos here.
Uh-huh.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Here are beautiful mountains, but with a lot of buildings that are not attractive for our tastes. So the woods are, the forests are very very common to use here in the music videos of the rock bands. So we like to use buildings, and we
Sure.
have some buildings in sight for the next videos.
And you kind of mentioned using like a factory or something as a sort of a backdrop for your videos, which I think is kind of cool. Something sort of, industrial and sort of mechanical, I guess, to a degree, which would seem to sort of lend itself to your music to a degree.
We were going to shoot Naturaleza Muerta in an abandoned factory that were with a lot of trees and enredaderas. I don't know how to say. Enredaderas.
Regardadas.
Enredaderas.
Regardadas.
Maleza.
Mm.
With a lot of
No sé qué es eso.
of nature. With a lot of nature
okay.
consuming the building.
So
Yes.
so like the building is sort of crumbling, and there's sort of
Yes.
a lot of maybe things growing inside the building. So you have this
Yeah.
sort of
Yes.
this sort of combination of organic and this sort of cold sort of old factory that's sort of falling apart, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overgrown things.
Yes. That
Very
was
cool.
the idea, that we were going to do Naturaleza Muerta video, but at the end, like a month later, that building was totally destroyed. Totally.
Oh no.
Sadly, we have pictures of how it was, but that the place doesn't exist now. But we must
you-
search.
Have you thought about maybe trying to find a factory that maybe you just don't get permission, and maybe just go in and try to film sort of surreptitiously and
Mm.
take a chance?
Yeah, but here is a bit dangerous.
Sure.
Yeah. Because
it's a little different.
yes, because a lot of factories, abandoned factories, are outside the city, and in veredas. How to say veredas? In little, in a different places. Well, places far from the city. Yes, and there maybe the people have guns and those things.
Sure.
Maybe it's better to prevent.
Yeah, for sure. Not take a chance.
Yes.
Yeah. There's the amusement park at Charlestown State Park.
You talking about Rose Island?
Yeah, Rose Island, exactly.
Yeah, it ended in like the 1930s or something, and it's just overgrown.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, relics of a different time that just froze. Not much left though. It's mostly overgrown.
Mhm. In the fall, though, you can see a little more of it.
Yeah,
but still that sort of fusion between, organic life sort of, entwining and creeping over something that's very sort of, industrial and cold is sort of beautiful, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yes, we like a lot that kind of things.
had mentioned that I know you have not been doing things right now musically because you've been very busy with your other job. But are you you're making jewelry, correct? Are there things on the horizon? I mean, have you been working a little bit on some new music?
Yes, we have some ideas that I did in 2019. Yes, but there are in standby, and are recorded. There are some guitars and bass recorded, but I must take it and evolve those ideas. But I think it's better to do first some videos because La Tumba de los Dioses video have a lot of views for our point of view. Being a band from Colombia, where here are not more Gothic rock bands, and here are only dead rock like Once Desaparecidos. They are the most dead rock band here, but the other ones are have dead rock elements, but their public are more punk, but those punks don't like a lot the less aggressive music than the style of Tumbas, for example. They like, yes, always screaming music, and they do not appreciate a lot this kind of music. Maybe they feel bored or something. So we have good views of our video, and we think that video have made us a little known in the internet, and it's a necessary thing to do. Videos with the strange places or any idea, I don't know, the makeup and all those things maybe are attractive to more to people than only to hear the music sometimes. So we are focusing on doing some videos, and then to take the old music ideas for develop to the second album. But this second album will not be so hard because of what I was talking first, was that I am more happy with my music productions. Nefty says that I am boring you. Yes, sorry for that.
Not in the least. Not in the least.
No. Pero en Colombia hay en los radios. ¿Hay apoyo en los radios? Like, do you all get played on the radio around in Colombia, or is there anywhere local in Colombia?
Like 2 months ago, I think we were played in a radio here in our city, but and in 2018 we have an interview, but it's an university radio from Universidad Nacional, and here in our city, and Universidad Nacional from sede Bogotá. And yes, it's like university's radio. Radio Haga la U, creo que nos pusieron. We were played there in Radio Haga la U. It's not very common that we get played in the radio, but sometimes, like once time at a year, maybe.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this interview with us. We really appreciate it. We really enjoy your music and are looking forward to what's yet to come with some of the videos you're talking about working on and some of the new music that's going to hopefully be coming out sometime in the near future.
Yeah, thanks so much. We hope that you enjoy the new music we are doing. Hope you like the instrumental versions we sent to you. For that is going to be released soon. Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you so much for.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks
a lot.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Gracias por la invitación. Thanks for the invitation.
Por supuesto.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, Sophie.
Radio Arcane.